Hello, hello, hello. Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in magic? Maybe you don't believe anything. That's fine too. You actually have more power when you believe nothing and you just allow everything to kind of flow. But do you love magic? I do. Oh, thank you so much, Veronica. Hello, wake up with text 777. Hello. Hello, hello. The train. Express. You are no longer being pressed. It is being X'd out of your life. Like the movie Polar Express. If you were on a train of learning or to lead or to overcome low self-worth or to overcome self-importance, and you have shifted from lead, the train, to gold, the light, if you have burned off all that is false, in alchemy it's called the crucible, then you may have succeeded to Christmas. Christmas is the 12th month. You may be 12 years old spiritually. The star on the top of the tree reflects your higher self and the invisible mother, Sirius B, the dog star. Many, many different symbols of the star. The Christos in your brain, Christ consciousness, many things. And you may be asked to step into your adepthood and become a teacher. This is the train conductor. You see here, this is a female. Now, you're wearing a certain hat. The hat is short and it has a rainbow bill. It's not like a top hat where you're learning. The top hat reflects that you are learning and getting downloads. The crown reflects you're done learning and you're done teaching. The hat is so symbolic. And so when you become a train, people will come to your energy and they will learn, and you will have a fire within your soul that catches on them. It will destroy them or it will heal them, depending on whether they are self-important or have low self-worth. So, train conductor. My friend John made this for me for Christmas. Isn't it beautiful? If you look, this is the dodecahedron. This is the symbol of the box of Saturn that opens up and suddenly you become activated, your rainbow light body. I love it. I'm going to present it in all of my lives. So today we're going to be reading for Ashley. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Mary Moses. You're going to see something magical today. It is not by me that I do these things. My body is filled with the Holy Spirit, the higher self. If you're Native American, it's called the Great Spirit. If you're an alchemist, it's really just an energy. It's called the invisible word of God. It's frequency. It's many things. So you may learn something here today. Maybe you're meant to be here. And Ashley has an energy, the blueprint of her soul, that has something to teach not only her, but all of us here listening. Sometimes you guys, in the blueprint of your soul, will take me back to Armenia, where the original Christ was. The God named Ar, that goes along with the word ark, or how great thou art. The god Armenia was the god of the sun, and Mithra was his son, and this Mithra was the same story as Jesus and all of that. Sometimes your energy takes me to Norse mythology, where I learn about Freya and Odin. Sometimes it takes me to Egypt, and I learn about Osiris and Isis. And sometimes your energy takes me to native, ancient energies of nature spirits who manifested as humans to try to teach us to maintain balance of all things. So we don't know what the blueprint of your soul will reveal, But I'll tell you this, whatever's in your soul will teach not only you, but everyone here. And I love it because in the end, all these gods and goddesses tell the same story. So all aboard the choo-choo train. Are you here to learn? Are you here to lead? Are you the conductor? And have you shifted from lead to gold? We don't know. Let's find out. We're going to anoint your piece, Ashley. So welcome, Ashley. Hello, Erica. Ashley, you have a very, your energy and my energy is very similar. I see you and I very, very kindred spirits. Actually see you as a mirror of me. So I think that you are a teacher and a leader, and I'm very proud of you. And I'm thankful for your energy. What you have to offer people is divine. So that's wonderful. I just anointed your piece with, I call it, we need to name this butterfly perfume. Let's name her, not Mithra, but something like the female version of Mithra. Maybe like Mishra, like a mushroom, but Mishra. And Mishra has beautiful rainbow colors, and she has rose essential oil, which offers 347 hertz to our paper. Paper is a dead tree. Charcoal is a burned tree. We're going to take the tree back to life. Alchemy of taking chaos and turning it into order. So let's get chaotic. Let's decide to believe nothing and to think nothing, and let's just allow spirit to flow through us like a river. Be aware I could be wrong about everything I say today. The important part of what is being shown today is that you take what I say or what you see to your higher self, because all of the answers are within you. All right? Ashley? The song Spirit brought to you today has nothing to do with the choo-choo train. The symbol of the train was brought to you today for sure. But the song that was brought to you is I believe in miracles, you sexy thing. Stepping into your power, believing in miracles, you sexy thing. Dance on the table. Step into the respectable clothes and demand respect and laugh. And yeah, you're not under the table anymore. You're on top of the table. All right, so that's the song for you. Here we go. Let's just go. I believe in miracles, you sexy thing. I also hear the words, I am not ashamed. Something about an energy of shame, overcoming some kind of shame. Be aware that this video is being recorded. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Forest Fairy. No, not forestfairy.com. That's my website. Mary Moses Art on YouTube. Mary Moses Art. And so, yeah, you can take a screenshot of this, and I'm seeing so much energy of helping people to let go of contracts. You are someone who helps people to break emotional, mental contracts, and through the light, and mending of hearts, and a myriad of things. So let's look deep into the blueprint of your soul and look for some symbols that that talk about your spirit guides and what spirits are after you, or looking after you. And It looks like you're holding a planet, and I'm not quite adept with planets. This seems like you have a planet that you're working with, planetary systems. There are actually lots of planets around you. And then you have a big God being around you, and you have a white horse. And there's a lot going on. So yes, I see you. I want you to know, usually when I see where you are, I tell you that you're at 12 or you're at 13. I think that your higher self, that looks like your higher self is much larger than you, greater is spirit within you than you are in the world. Yeah, holy shit. It's really big here. And looks like the Statue of Liberty, but not. I don't know who she is yet, but this is a very, very, very powerful energy next to you. You are being led divinely for sure. Good job on allowing your spirit to dominate you. But I do see you a little bit standing above your higher self. This may be a communication to certainly allow your higher self to lead you, not the other way around. All right, but let's go ahead and look at you and your body language, and let's get started. Your mouth is open. This means that you're teaching or speaking. Your ear is showing you hear the voice of spirit. You are holding a planet. You have Emerald City as your crown. Oh, Dorothy, what? You have Toto the dog. You listen to the divine order of God. Good job. All right, let's bring out your higher self. She's androgynous, not male, not female, kind of like the Statue of Liberty, looks both male and female. The entire body of your higher self has symbols, including the eye. She has a very motherly looking face. He, she. But the crown is incredible. The light is incredible. These lights really have you have ancient people standing behind you. They are bird people. You come from the bird people. This means that you were part of the original race of Adam. The Adam and the Eve, before they were cut, were flying beings, according to my readings. You have angels or fairies. Their wings make these hearts. They dance, they do things. You have an eagle as your hand. This is many things. This means many things, that you're a judge. You're a train conductor. You're a teacher. You have a male energy up here. Something about maybe a male or two or somebody in your life affecting you that is spiritually asleep. Learning to let go of being asleep through contracts from our forefathers, our inconsistencies of our blood and our teachings. And so this is someone learning to let go of people, of ideas, of religion or whatever, but these are people who are asleep, and you're kind of teaching them to break contracts in some way. And your higher self is helping you with the crown. And the crown, think not that the crown is silly. they're made up of many souls. A crown reflects that you don't receive answers from yourself. You have divine energy speaking to you. This doesn't come from your brain. These come from these ancient, people call these energies like blue avians, but really they are the lights of God. So let's see what your higher self wants to tell you. So, you were being trained by a ladybug. This is the lady, meaning Mother Mary, kind of. You are holding a ring. There's some type of sadness. This is your past. Your higher self sent the voice of the divine order of God, the dog, as your pillow at night. You began to have downloads. You have a cat. I'll bring it in a little closer. The cat is connected to Freya, but it's also low self-worth, abandonment possibly. And you were being taught to become the body of your higher self, not you. You had to diminish because everything you learned in this lower realm was false. So and there's this person. You had spirit guides, also like ancestors, people who came. And when you were, like a thief in the night, we bounce to a new reality. We are in the year of the rabbit. It is the year of the water rabbit. When you think of the rabbit, they say when the coming of Christ comes back, it'll be like the days of Noah. So Noah had white hair, the hair of the rabbit. And this year is the year of the water rabbit. You have mushrooms, like a fairyland kind of mushrooms energy here. I don't know why I see the letter H. People are learning from you. Your spirit guide says you will be sent people, specific people who are ready. Not everyone is ready. You will know them because they are starting to become illuminated or light. We do not help the dead. Your spirit guide says, because they are contaminated. They will cause cross-contamination. So you're pregnant with a new earth. And it's so funny because this new earth looks like a bell. Jingle bells. And there's a part of you that's like wearing like a hat. And holding this new earth that looks like a golden bell. And this is where you bounce to, something like that. And you're in a cocoon. You are becoming a master of the net. You're going to get into sacred geometry. Your white horses are everywhere. You're bringing the coming of Christ. Christ consciousness. The white horses are everywhere. They're invisible. From now on, everything is invisible. It's all spirit. Everything comes like a thief in the night. Secret. The rabbit is being cut, and I don't know why. Let me just say this. Rabbits, according to Jews, are unclean. I'm not sure why the rabbit is being cut. So sacrificing a rabbit is not normal because it's unclean. It may be a communication not to eat unclean foods because you have to feed your spirit. Your spirit needs a certain diet. For me, I have to activate my water with magnetism. I use magnets. I just eat almonds. There's my bag of almonds right there. I can have honey and tea and things like that, but my diet has to be minimal sugar, minimal processed foods, minimal things, and really just maintaining a clean diet. But I'm not really sure why. We can think about it like this. We are in the age of the water rabbit. When the age of Noah returns, that's when the coming of Christ comes as white horses and the white rabbit, transforming from the gray elephant to the white elephant, from the gray wizard to the white wizard. And so why is the rabbit being cut? I believe that the year of the rabbit is the year that the separation of worlds manifests permanently. There is no access for the dead to get past the net. Okay, so there's a symbol of an actor. When I see a clown, this is a symbol from spirit to you that when you are around certain people, when in Rome, the sacred clown is somebody who uses controlled folly around people who are dead. This means you shouldn't allow anyone to have access to who you are, what you believe, or anything. Don't let them astral travel and connect with you. Don't let them into your heart space because we are in the corona crown. It's the corona. And the corona crown is an important awakening where we help people who are starting to wake up, to really make that shift. They are above the net. But there are people who are completely dead, and that we don't help them. We block them with your elbow because they will get into your psyche and your heart, and you will begin to feel depressed or angry like them. They will cross-contaminate you because up here we're becoming a collective consciousness. And to have a collective consciousness like a bumblebee and a hive, you can't have one bumblebee going, screw you guys, I'm going to go do drugs. I'm going to go do something that hurts myself and others, right? So I don't know why that's there. Let's think about it, okay? Because I'm guessing at this right now. It's the first time I've ever seen a rabbit being sacrificed. So all these people have contracts, and some people are in their lion face, where they're like, put 'em up, I'll fight you with both hands behind my back. And they want to be the self-important, great and mighty. It looks like people who are still in their third chakra are up here. And like Dorothy slapping them in the face, that lion who wants to fight the world of the dead. Oh, look at these jerks, and oh, look at what you did and what they did, and these politics, and they fight the world that we're leaving, and it's keeping their consciousness down here, right? There are people in your life that are still the shamers and the blamers, and they're getting in your head. Transmute them a little bit, cut them out of your life. Any tree that bears no fruit, which means doesn't add to your life but subtracts from your life, cut them out of your memory and burn their memory, meaning don't think twice about them. So let's say you're helping someone and they're the shaming and blaming lion. They haven't made it to their fourth heart chakra, Emerald City, right? And they have to be slapped. Well, don't think about them twice. Do what you need to do, but don't let them into your head. They aren't allowed in Emerald City until they heal ignorance, the scarecrow, narcissism, the Tin Man, and shame and blame, the lion. Until they go through the fourth green heart chakra, Emerald City, they aren't allowed in your head. Because they are contamination. They are an extension of the WWW, the World Wide Web, the Wicked Witch of the West. So you're going to be ruthless, and you're going to be a clown. You have to be an actress. They're going to try to get into your head. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you think. Well, tell them what they want to hear. Sorry, they don't get to know you. They don't have access to your heart or your head until they shift. So you're going to have to be, that standing tall, respectable person that says, hey, I'm going to help you. But you don't have access to me. Sorry. And so you're going to be stepping into that. It's difficult, I know, because I tell everybody everything. And I'm a little feral that way, I guess you could say, in a sense. So your higher self says that they manifest as people in your life. And they are like birds, and they will come to you, and they manifest through the voices of others. So notice that you are facing your higher self. That's a good thing. Your higher self is here. Maybe possibly focusing on your heart chakra at this time. And the crown of your higher self is really helping to solidify your crown. And your crown is also a horse. So your spirit guide is a horse. You're learning to become the horse of many colors. Aha. Because you're in Emerald City. Aha. So becoming a horse of many colors means you hear the voice of God. And everybody up here hears the voice of God. It's the same voice because it's the same truth. Yes, we maintain our individuality, of course. It's not about mind control. This is about, we're following life energy and we're leaving death energy, that's all. So, there's a doe here. There was. Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself, a long way to run. So I need a pulling thread. La, a note that follows so. The doe is female, but I put lightning here because this is about going into the past and teaching people the art of recapitulation. Healing There's a shamanic, I hope you know what this is, but so you're going to be making money helping people, especially people helping their inner child. Maybe focusing on recapitulation because, and there's people seated around a table. The table is a planet, and I don't know why, but they're all seated around this table, and the table makes a hand, and the hand is a face. So I don't know if this is a seance. I don't know what it is, but there's people seated around a table. This is where you're going to make money. Here. Helping people. So you have a male energy here. This male is a dragon for you. There's going to be some people in your life that are going to push you far, far, far away from anything that's not true. So if you have anything about yourself or the world that isn't true, it'll manifest in the form of people, and it's not people, it's a dragon. So remember what I said. This new world is about invisible. Every person you meet is either going to be your higher self, or a dragon, or your past, or your future. Identify which is which. Catch them in a net. Don't let them in your head if they're down here. But let them in your heart and your head if they are a horse of many colors. And this is the separation of worlds. One world has healed the heart chakra and turned into a butterfly with wings and becoming an actress or an actor, using controlled folly among people down here. And the ones who didn't make it, they're still learning. It's okay. But your elbow is white. This means that you are teaching people to block energies as well. A lot of blocking. What is recapitulation? It is a shamanic act of breathing exercises that requires you go into a cave or a place of stone or up against a tree or something that has negative ions or nature. And you breathe in, you remote view your past. You breathe in any trauma, anything, and you envision filaments and the sun energy going inside your body, and you breathe out all untruths, lies. And then you hold your breath and you do a sweeping exercise and you call back all the power that you gave away. It's basically the art of obliviating your past and obliviating yourself so that you wear the invisibility cloak. And this is where you become and learn to become invisible. And so then you are invisible. So your higher self is teaching you many concepts of becoming invisible. And the invisibility is becoming an actress wearing a mask, like a clown. There's a lot of truth here. So you're holding the letter O. This is an oracle. You're an oracle. But what is the master of the net? The master of the net is what Jesus was. Jesus said, "Let us cast our net and be fishermen of men and walk on water and raise the dead." In the net are fish. Okay. So what we have to understand about the net is that the net is a secret school that some of you don't know about. This school is called the Master of the Net. If you are not a master of the net, then you are an initiate of the net. If you're not an initiate of the net, it's because you haven't been called to it yet. The master of the net understands that behind every pain or every pleasure is a sacred geometrical shape. Notice in your piece you have the shape of a square or a diamond. When you understand that every pleasure and every pain has a sacred geometrical shape associated with it, then you can change pleasure and pain by changing the shape. You become a magician, a master magician. The initiate of the net must study the 5 Platonic solids. You will understand the shape of a wizard hat is the tetrahedron. It is connected to the number 4 and fire. You will learn the energy behind this shape. These are followers of Plato. The master of the net understands the fish. You cannot be a master of the net if you have not been born again. This means that you have a double self, flesh and spirit. Spirit being invisible, you being visible. If you have not rebirthed or birthed your double or been twice born, depending on your perception, you cannot be a master of the net. The story goes like this. Once upon a time, the divine order of God called human beings into a boat. Noah was the male and female energy that had white hair. The white hair is associated with the rabbit. Noah the meaning of Noah is rest. It is the belly of the whale. It is the Vesica piscis. It looks like a fish. It is the belly of the whale. It is a boat. It is a teardrop. It is a flame. It is the all-seeing eye. It is the Ankh. It is the Holy Grail. It is the most important symbol of all time. You will learn as a master of the net that the Vesica piscis on its side is someone who is dead. The Vesica piscis going down is someone in the baptism of water, as it looks like a teardrop. You will learn that the Vesica piscis going up is the baptism of fire. Someone is going through fire. It's the dragon. You will learn that if you are in the eye of the needle, that you are in the boat. You cannot go into the boat unless you have been twice born. 1, 2, the 2 rings of power. Ashley, you have 1 ring. You were not reborn, but your higher self came and birthed you into being twice born. You don't have to be a Christian for this to happen. It happens naturally if you hear the dog, the divine order of God, like Dorothy following Toto or Harry Potter following Sirius Black the dog. Now, the animals went into the boat 2 by 2 because you cannot get into the boat unless you are twice born. The animals reflect your spirit guides. Inside the net is actually a boat. It is a metaphorical, invisible boat. You cannot see it. Inside are your spirit guides. You will be sorted like a hat into your chamber of your spirit guides. You have been sorted, Ashley, and you are under the spirit guide of the horse. 2 horses, not 1. Here, your arm makes a boat. When you go into this chamber, you will grow through the body of that spirit. In the underworld, before we were born again, we were in the body of Christ. Jesus says, turn over a stone and there I am also. Jesus is water. Jesus is this entire world. Jesus was Mithra. Jesus was Apollo. Jesus was Helios. Jesus can be an animal. Jesus can be water. Jesus can be blood. Jesus can be a human. Jesus can be anything. And so when we had to work through the body of Christ, we had to heal our 7 chakras. Your 7 chakras are actually 7 wounds of Christ when they are not healed. They are called points of drainage. And you lose power. Almost didn't spell it right. Your loosh, your energy feeds a lower matrix. But once you grow through the 7 wounds of Christ, you will be counseled by 7 spirits of God that are in the Bible. Because one realm of 7 and the other realm of 7. 7 and 7 is the Holy Spirit. 14 is the number of the Holy Spirit. So one world reflects a male energy, the land of Oz, the great and mighty Wizard of Oz. And then you go to the land of Iris. She's the goddess of the rainbow, Osiris. We were cut, Adam and Eve. But our original form before Eve was cut from Adam was a bird. Like really a dragon with a beak. So anyway, when your points of drainage become points of power, you begin to wear the rainbow light body, and like a thief in the night, or a lightning strike, or an embryo that invisibly doubles inside the womb of a woman, you will double. You will be born again. And when you're born again, you have to hear the voice of your higher self and you have to obey it. Because your higher self is immortal. Your higher self is greater than you. Your higher self wants to lead you to power and all of these things. So greater is spirit within you than you are in the world. So spirit's always in control. So now you're in the boat, right? You're in the ark. We just so happen to be in the year of the rabbit. The white hair of Moses in the year of the water. Isn't that funny? So now you have doubled, and then you're in what the Egyptians call the Egyptian Book of Gates. If you look up the Egyptian Book of Gates, it actually looks like this. It's many chambers that looks like a giant boat, an ark. And when you get into the studying of the ark, it will take you back to the original Christ who lived in Armenia and the god Ar. This was the god of the sun, and it was the original God. And this is why we have the ark. How great thou art. So, to catch someone in the net is to catch someone who is dead into the ark of life, where they will walk on water and raise the dead. And then, once you're in the ark, your horses, your lions, your elephants, your spirit guides, your doe, your invisible spirit, your dove, your holy dove, will continue to grow your spirit. You will triple your soul. This is called the threefold flame. And then you will quadruple your soul. Eventually your soul grows, I don't know how many times, maybe 14 times into the holy dove. I don't know. Maybe 7 times. I'm not really sure. But if you are interested in becoming a master of the net, the only person who I know is giving a class on it is on a website called Vesica.org. And it is the Vesica Piscis. It's the fish in the eye of the needle. So, the good news is, Ashley, you've been rebirthed. You are eventually going to be trained to bounce your double into a triple, and then your triple into a quadruple, because all these birds, these spirit guides, are waiting to birth like an egg and make you more and more and more powerful. And you will become less you and more a collective consciousness. However, you're the physical body, so you are the holy temple, and they respect you. And so the respect is very strong. And all you have to do is keep listening and obeying that. Keep your joy up with the jingle bell, the golden age of Aquarius. And please, you are a horse of many colors, but not everyone's allowed in your mind or your heart, because they will cross-contaminate you. And if they do get into your heart or your mind, transmute them through the 0-point energy of the eye of the needle. And that means you say out loud, I am nothing. I believe nothing, because I am part of everything. I am no one, because I am everyone. I cut off any attachments, because that leads to the dark side. I don't try to control anything, because divine order is in control. I trust and I obey. That's all that's required of you, is to be in the eye of the needle, which is the boat, the belly of the whale. And then you will be fishermen of men. And keep studying, because you will learn some pretty extraordinary things about sacred geometry and numerology. When Jesus was 12 years old, he left the Bible and the temple. The temple is an allegory of shifting away from the ego and moving into the heart. And when we leave the temple, we learn to become invisible, wearing the invisibility cloak. The only way to wear the invisibility cloak is to go into a cave and resurrect through the resurrection stone your past and breathe back all the power that you gave away. It's basically the art of obliviating all the pain through forgiveness, whether it's ruthless or not. Forgiveness can be ruthless. And taking back your power. You obliviate your pain. You can't talk about it anymore. It didn't exist. Daddy hurt me, mommy hurt me, sister hurt me, brother hurt me, God hurt me, Satan hurt me. It's obliviated. It doesn't exist. And then you become invisible. So the resurrection stone is very, very, very important, which is the recapitulation act of restoring your power so that you can have enough power to be a point of power so that you don't die and disintegrate into the real nothing. So the divination wand is listening to the divine order of God. This is listening to your higher self, the immortal spirit that will lead you to life and not death, the immortal spirit that will lead you to power and not ignorance. And so this is called the Deathly Hallows. And the Deathly Hallows is the dragon eye. You become a threat. But you will not be aware, or no one will be aware that you are a threat. And why are you a threat? Because some people who are dead don't want to fight their dragon to wake up, because they would have to diminish their ego, their self-importance, their low self-worth. They will have to say goodbye to their past and let go of family members or friends who are also dead. So you become a threat. But you're not a threat. You're just helping someone destroy lies and falseness to catch them in a net and bring them to life. You become holy. You're the train conductor. You've shifted from lead, the element of Saturn, to gold, the light that shines from the sun, to the smoke that comes out of the train, which is the crucible, burning away all that is false, the dragon. The track that follows the number 11, Jesus Christ has 11 letters in his name, and the 1111 is about a pole shift, 1111. A pole shift within the heart of man, shifting from the head to the heart. And so, you're the conductor. You might find out later in life that you're a time traveler. And so the secrets get deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. But I may be wrong. So, becoming a master of the net is really being control. You have the ability to go to heaven or hell, and the places in between. You can help people in hell, and you can get downloads from all those who are part of the collective mind of heaven, because you're wearing the Emerald City crown. But you're 12 years old. So you're still in that stage of becoming that. And so am I. You and I are in the same boat. So good job, and just trust that that there is a separation of worlds, but it's all in divine order. We don't have control. Does this resonate with you, Ashley? I'll look and see what I said. I don't know English, but I know when you are showing all these signs and symbols. See, if you're an alchemist, we don't have to speak the same language. These symbols are universal. This is why this is the voice of spirit. This is why an alchemist gets into symbology, sacred geometry, numerology. And we must continue to learn, because the Ark is Hogwarts. It's a school of learning and teaching, both. Destroy old worlds and create new ones. I think that you aren't you. I think that you're many. I think that that you're part of the collective consciousness, and I think to truly step and become that oracle, the voice of spirit. Definitely, I see your voice is opening, and the horse is about taking a feral mind and taming it. The horse is about following spirit and not riding the horse. The horse is leading you. I'm not sure what else the white horse actually means, but I also know that it is the coming of the return of Christ to humanity. For those who get in the boat, anyway. Thank you so much. Yes. If you're religious, just remember that the oracle was written in the Bible 23 times. If any man speak, let them speak as the voice of the oracle. And Jesus said, if you believe me, you can be as powerful as me and more. So if you're not, why aren't you? Yeah. Many of us are young souls growing like little munchkins. We were short of understanding, and nothing's really our fault. Our fault is just believing lies, or having insecurities, or projecting our pain onto other people, kind of being a virus to ourselves or others. But the gentle mother who loves you and sees your future will take you by the hand and say, oh, but I see who you are. And you are a light to the world. Let's grow you into that, So if you're young and you're young in spirit and you don't know, just know that everything happens in divine timing. It's not about leaving people behind. It's not about you're a jerk or you're dumb or you're ignorant or any of that. It's many of us are in our stage of our life where we're becoming masters, and it is not in any way my intention to make anyone feel shame about not being where I am. I'm 49 years old, and I have worked very hard and long to be where I am, and would never expect anyone to just jump into that right away unless it's your destiny. I've been telling people lately to realize that they are the heart, where your true self is, not the mind. Yeah, see, your heart is 5,000 times stronger than the brain. We were born in the moon. It's dark. Like a tree, our roots grew in the dark underworld. It was paramount that we grew in the darkness. We had to. That's how seeds grow. But once you reach the heart chakra, you've reached the sun. And when you begin to see the sun, it burns you a little bit, and the wind and the rain hurts you a little bit, and it feels as if it's taking forever. And one day you become a tree that bears fruit and leaves. And one day a bird lands on your tree and says, hey, did you know you can astral travel? Why don't you enter your consciousness into my body and I'll show you some stuff and some things. And you're like, I can astral travel? The bird's like, well, hell yeah. And you're like, yeah. So you practice astral traveling when the wind begins to blow, and you allow your leaves to flow with the wind. And you practice with your leaves. And you're leaving. You leaved. And then one day, you get so good at it, you begin to bounce your consciousness into other beings, like a bird, or a holy dove, or a raven, things that are not earthbound, bound by gravity. And you begin to see from a higher perspective. And all the earthbound creatures look up at you going, hey! And they don't know who you are. And so, eventually you leave the tree behind, completely. But because you rebirthed, your consciousness never dies. You can bounce your consciousness into anything at that point. And so, being reborn is paramount. And this is what I'm seeing with Ashley's piece. Helping people to leave an old world and get into a new one. And the art of catching people in the net. A master of the net. Your entire body makes a world. Oh, you look like a Christmas tree decoration. This is a symbol of helping people get their rainbow light body. And you also look like a Taurus field, like an apple. And so, yeah, these have many different symbols. The bell, the apple, the oracle, all kinds of things. You're going to be many things. Yes, you can rewatch this on YouTube. You go to Mary Moses Art. Thank you, Queen Karma. Please follow my moderator, Queen Karma. She is the speaker of the sun energy. And I love her. She was my meant to be in my life in divine timing. So please follow her. You're going to want to follow people who follow truth in life at this time during this shift, and leave behind people who are dead, just so that you can continue being on that choo-choo train of light and life. But yes, Mary Moses Art. I post all of these videos on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to me there, and you can rewatch everything that I have said and have shown to you. Please let me know if you find out the relevance to the rabbit sacrifice. Yeah. Thank you. I will ask right now what it means, because this is half of a heart, one rabbit ear. This fairy is a bridge between male and female. And half of the rabbit losing the other half. It gives me a feeling like I can't breathe. So hold on. The rabbit is going through a rabbit hole. Something about the other side of the rabbit on your shoulder being heavy. The rabbit makes the letter U. The rabbit hole looks like a mirror looking at itself. My temporary answer for you, until Spirit talks to me, is seek first the kingdom of God, not the kingdom of hell, through everything. If we smoke weed, if we drink alcohol, it's a depressant. If we are doing anything that is distracting us to fear or to the world of the dead, we will go into a rabbit hole that will tear our destiny. But that's only my temporary opinion, because I also see it as a good symbol, because there's a story. Notice how the body of the rabbit looks like an egg. The story of the golden egg is that when you realize that everyone in your life is you and a mirror of you, the golden egg cracks open and you find out that you are the universe with the letter U. But you won't crack the egg to realize that everyone is a mirror of you. Some people are a mirror of your past. Some people are a mirror of your future. Some people are a mirror of your now. And cracking that open and creating your own world. They say, when you crack open the golden egg and you realize that you are the universe, you will begin creating your own world. And then you are the master of the net. But beware of shifting your energy back to your old self through people or your past or family members or ideals or beliefs or even actions. Actions are a prayer. Like for me, I don't know if I picked up an energy from someone else or what, but I started self-indulging. Yep, Spirit wants me to read you something. Hold on. I began self-indulging and having a pity party and getting mad at God. It's taking too long, and feeling very negative and just feeling a lot of negativity. I allowed it to pull me into the lower world. And Spirit said, there are so many people who are connected to you and count on you to be a lighthouse. When you allow yourself, through anything that you're doing, through your actions, to be pulled down, everyone gets pulled down. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down because they're going to feel you. So many people are going to be connected to you. So if you fall, they fall. So we become murderers in a way. The responsibility of being where we are is great. So let's see what Spirit has to say. So this is about recapitulating the past, okay? The ethereal net, we turned right to the net. Can you, hey Ashley, I believe in miracles, you sexy thing. The ethereal net, here we go. There's your ethereal net. This is specifically for you. The ethereal net is the luminosity that surrounds the physical body. This web of energy gets torn to shreds during daily living. Oh, that's what this means. Torn to shreds. Okay, now Spirit is speaking to us. Aren't you guys so excited? Why aren't you jingling your bell and being like so excited? This is Spirit talking, alive. What? This web of energy gets torn to shreds during daily living. Huge portions of it become lost or entwined in other people's bands of energy. That's what I'm seeing. If a person loses too much vital force, he becomes ill or dies. When you're dealing with people, you must recapitulate, or you get torn to shreds and you can become sick. This is what I was talking about, the Corona crown. Breathing works on both the physical and the ethereal levels. It repairs any damage in the ethereal net and keeps it strong and pliant. This is why your mouth is opened. Breathe. See why I said I had a hard time breathing? It's about breathing. This is what you've been doing for the past months. This is about the character in the book here. With your recapitulation, you are retrieving filaments of your energy from your ethereal net that have become lost or entangled as a result of your daily living. By focusing on that interaction, you are pulling back all that you dispersed over 20 years and in thousands of places. Thousands. I suspected that he had slipped away and was waiting nearby for me to crawl out. See, she was in a cave recapitulating. As I looked, a bright patch of light appeared, hovering about 2 feet from me. The illusion startled me, yet at the same time, it enthralled me, so that I couldn't turn my eyes away. I had the irrational certainty that the light was alive, conscious, and aware that my attention was focused on it. See, your higher self is an orb of light. It will manifest as people, too, like me. Suddenly, the glowing sphere expanded to twice its size and became encircled by an immense purple ring. You have a ring. Frightened, I squeezed my eyes shut, hoping that the light would disappear so that I would leave the cave without passing through it. My heart pounded loudly in my chest as if I was perspiring. My throat was dry and constricted. I couldn't breathe. With great effort, I slowed down my breathing. When I opened my eyes, the light had vanished. So this is an Indian, like a Native American who was a shaman teaching her. And shamans turn into orbs. Let me see if there's anything else to be said about the recapitulation. She wanted to know how he turned into an orb. I let go of my physical body and allowed my double to take over. This is becoming invisible. You let go of your physical body, you allow your double to take over. If you're Christian, it's called being born again. If our awareness is tied to the double, we are not affected by the laws of the physical world. Rather, we are governed by ethereal forces. But as long as awareness is tied to the physical body, looking in the mirror, as long as awareness, our movements are limited by gravity and other constraints. The difference between the average person and an expert in Kung Fu is that the latter has learned to control his soft body. Your soft body is your higher self, your luminous light body. My karate teachers used to tell me the same. They insisted that martial arts trained the soft side of the body, but I could never understand what they meant. What they probably meant was that when an expert practitioner attacks you, he strikes the vulnerable points of his enemy's soft body. These are people who know about your double. They know about your higher self. It's not the power of the physical body that is destructive, but the opening he makes in his enemy's ethereal body. He can hurl into that opening a force that rips through the ethereal net to cause major damage. Be careful, Ashley. There's a warning about somebody who knows about this. You need to protect your ethereal net. Someone who can rip through it and cut you in half. So they can cause major damage to your spirit. A person may receive what seems at that time only a gentle hit, but hours, perhaps days later, the person may die from the blow. Don't be fooled by the outward movements or by what you see. It's what you don't see that counts. There's a lot of things we're going to get into during this rebirth, you guys. So she still didn't understand about the soft body, your double self, being born again. True martial arts, as Clara has described them to me from her training in China, are interested in mastering the control of their soft body, your luminous light body, your higher self. And the double is controlled not by our intellect, but by our intent. There is no way to think about it or to understand it rationally. It has to be felt, for it is linked to some luminous lines, your luminous light body, of energy crisscrossing the universe. The net. Your net. Okay. For instance, a line of energy that extends up to the head gives the double its purpose and direction, like a horse. That line suspends and pulls the double whichever way it wants to go. If it wants to go up, all you have to do is intend up. If it wants to sink into the ground, it just intends down. So seek first the kingdom of God, because if you don't, your artax will get stuck in the swamp of sadness. Your higher self should be up here. So there's something a little bit off. Maybe you were attacked by some jerk. All right, this is something to think about. For instance, Mm-hmm. Would I be able to reach my soft body someday? The question is, Tasha, do you want to reach it? She wasn't sure. I'm very curious about it, so I do want to get to it at any price. Anything short of selling my body, I said lamely. Okay. So, it is a high price to pay to understand the world of our double self. The involvements of men and women are no longer our concern. That means we are not interested in man's morality, immorality, or even amorality. All our energy is poured into exploring new paths. Can you give me an example of a new path? Certainly. How about the recapitulating the past that I was crazy? I still am crazy. I know very well how crazy you are, but not because you're here with us. More than crazy, you're indulgent. Nevertheless, since the day you came here, contrary to what you think, you haven't indulged as much as you had in the past. So in all fairness, I'd say that some of the things that Claire tells me that you did, like entering into what we call the shadows world, wasn't indulging or being crazy. It's a new path, something unnamed and unimaginable from the point of view of the normal world. Right? How do I let go of my physical body then? You fool it. You let your body feel as if it were sound asleep. So there's secrets to this. Lie down with your eyes, but don't fall asleep. So it goes on. But Spirit answered your question about this very well. And Spirit says, I don't know if this is a future thing. I don't know if this is a now time thing. But you being torn open and your luminous body being weakened by jerks, especially the shaming lion jerk, the art of recapitulation should be practiced daily. Every single day, I go into the bath with salt water and crystals and 963 hertz, and I breathe in all the energy I gave away, like what I'm doing right now. How I'm helping you guys, I'm actually giving you my power. But I'm going to take that power back. And I'm going to recapitulate and obliviate today as if it didn't exist. Erasing myself and everything. Because you have to. You don't want someone to get attached to your head or your heart and tear you. It's called The Sorcerer's Crossing, A Woman's Journey by Tasha Abelard. Think not that this isn't the journey of Christ. He says, let us cast our nets and be fishermen of men. And there are secrets to it. And these secrets go very, very deep. And if you are looking for the path of immorality and to live forever, there's a price to pay. And the price is we become invisible in many ways. So Ashley, I'm not sure about this, but you can take your higher self and put your higher self here. It seems as if your higher self is busy in your past. And so just look at this as a golden compass, and you can shift it in seconds. It's no big deal. But I think you're becoming aware of the spirit world, and that it is just as predatorial as the physical. It's not all love and light. So just be careful. It was about 6 months ago that it happened. Let me look and see what you're saying. Yeah, you okay, so if you had a past attack, your horse came and mended it, your horse, your higher self, and look how you're cut here. Like this is cut. You're cut. And your higher self is bringing it back together, being torn. Don't indulge people who practice black magic. They are called soul eaters. Think of Voldemort and the spirit eaters that eat unicorns. Your white horse. The minute you know, here's the thing. Your higher self will tell you. Like, for instance, some people will pay me for a reading. Maybe even they pay $100 to me. And Spirit tells me no. How do I know the answer is no? Because they usually do something that's kind of jerky. Like they might text me at midnight going, "Are we having our reading tomorrow?" That's usually a sign no. You know? Or there's just something about their energy. Or maybe there's some, I am told, in a myriad of ways, no. I never let money dominate anything. I refund them. I say it's not your time. I don't want to be attacked by someone who will not obey Spirit. Because these readings are sacred. They're not for everyone. My energy is sacred. Not because I'm so important, but because I have a message that is so important for you to hear. Because Spirit has something very important for you to know, to get you past certain things, right? So recapitulating every day, that's what I do. Sun gazing, bringing light into certain areas of my body, what I eat, what I do, what I drink. Your action is a prayer. Cleaning your house. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Because the cut is here around your solar plexus or here, I would go out and sun gaze and focus that energy around your solar plexus here. But you're not alone, and your spirit guides will be there to help you. You're just being trained so that you can become, very powerful, and they don't have to go down here or repair you or anything. You can do it yourself. You just are becoming adept. And mine that is close to me was like, I'm just feeling sad today. I was like, funny, so was I. Well, yeah, may have been my fault. So it's a different world that we're in now. Yeah, set boundaries. And the clown is become an actor. So let's say you get somebody who's like a pervert. He's all into the world, all into self-importance, going, hey, I need your help. But you know that he is he might be a soul eater, or somebody who wants to cause you to think about them so that your telepathic thoughts are connected to them and they can feed off of you. You're going to have to learn to be ruthless. Forgiveness is not kind. Think of what Jesus said. Let the dead bury the dead. If you don't hate your brother and mother, sister, even your own life, you can't make it through the eye. Any man, you know a man by the fruit of his tree. Any man that bears no fruit should be cut down and thrown into the fire. Don't throw pearl to swine. So the ruthlessness is, if you are a Death Eater and you do not give life or know how to self-perpetuate life, and you feed off of others, they're not allowed to know you. You have to become an actor. You have to cut them out of your imagination, your thoughts, everything. And if you can't, they need to be cut out of your life for good. Never to be allowed to come back, not through any memory, not through anything. And usually the only way to get someone out of you is joy, the ridiculous spell. Laughing at yourself and them. And then once you laugh long enough, you won't even remember that they existed. And this is the art of killing someone out of your life. And why do you do this? That they're a vampire. Most people don't know it. All they know is they cause drama everywhere they go. I don't know why I can't maintain relationships. I keep having fights with everybody. Well, that's because you're shaking them through love or hate so that you can feed on them. And you don't know it. And there's so many people who do that. You just have to get really good at keeping a major boundary between you and them. Yeah. Laugh at them out of your life. Like for me, I'm so indulgent that I let someone I had an argument with spin in my head so much, even if I don't know them. And the reason I do this is because I'm self-important. I'm worried about what someone thinks about me. Who cares about me? Right? It's not important. So self-importance leads to indulgence. Indulgence leads to polarization. Polarization leads to be fed off of Death Eaters, vampires. So the only way for me to step out of it is to listen to comedy. I love Jim Gaffigan. I have so many favorite comedians. I put that comedian on and I laugh at myself. You're so silly to think twice about somebody like that. It's so silly to keep going into that same mindset. If you're a Christian, the joy of the Lord is your strength. If you're a Harry Potter person, then the ridiculous spell will defeat all the Dementors, those who want to suck the life out of you. And that's the only way, to be honest. Love doesn't work because that's how they feed off of you, is if you think you love them. Sorry, there was glitching there. What I was saying was the joy of the Lord is your strength. If you're a Harry Potter and it's the ridiculous spell, taking the spider, putting roller skates on him, taking the snake, turning him into a balloon. And when you learn to laugh, then they disappear. They never existed. But make sure that you laugh at yourself and them because once you take yourself too seriously, then you're in the world of self-importance and attachment, which leads to the dark side. Quote unquote Yoda. Yeah, sorry about the glitching. Yep, totally major glitching. That's usually because my satellite is shifting and I don't know what happens, but all of a sudden it just glitches. So Ashley, give me in divine timing for me to make your video and your explanation, and just know that you are meant to become like a shaman or an oracle and someone who will walk on water and raise the dead. But there are secrets, and these secrets must be awoken and integrated and practiced every day. I knew that you and I were in the same boat. I felt it the minute I spoke to you. I was like, all right, that's it. Her and I are like the same. So I do it. I've been there, and I was here last week too. So this isn't like a timeline like this is where you're going to be for a year. This is where you are today. It could shift through action, thought, recapitulation, breathing techniques, sun gazing, and suddenly your higher self here, you here, everyone else, no one's feeding off of you. You're a lighthouse that helps lost souls at sea. Can people go inside a lighthouse and be next to that light? No, they would get burned. They can go inside your lighthouse in your lower chakras, but that's not who you truly are. That's the illusion. And that's the clown. You become the actor. It's like a psychologist. Psychologists will sit there and go, tell me about your problems. And if the patient goes, tell me about your life, the psychologist says, F you don't get to know me. There's a clear boundary there. All right, let's move on. I always give a free reading. Thank you, Ashley. You taught us a lot today, and I mean a lot. I actually completely forgot about how our luminous light body can get ripped open by jerks. This was a very important lesson. But you're doing a great job. Your higher self is very proud of you. You're meant to be where you are. Have confidence. Don't look back. You'll turn to stone. Invisibility cloak. All right. I am open for a free reading. Those of you who are serious about your ascension and your spirit, are you rebirthed? Have you married flesh with spirit? Have you gotten into the boat, the Vesica Piscis? Have you been initiated into the master of the net or the initiates of the net? Do you even know? Are you polarized by religion and not the Holy Spirit that is alive and has a voice and changes all the time? Or do you listen to energies outside of yourself? Let's look. So what you do is you tell me your first name, and I will connect with your energy as best I can. Be aware I could be wrong. And have faith. Most importantly, believe in magic. All right? We're ready. All right. Yaya, am I reading for you tomorrow? I'm reading for someone named Yaya tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Adriana. Oh, just be aware that if you get a reading from me, you must follow me. Adriana, I'm wondering if you were the one who commented and said that I was supposed to give you a reading. I don't know. Let's go ahead and read for you. Here we go. Oh, let me get another marker. These markers dry up so much from the charcoal. So this is Adriana _Rose 814. Ah. All right. Adriana, I love you so much. Thank you for loving me back. I am not me. I am Spirit speaking to you. And Spirit always is the infallible hands of God and is never wrong. Although me, Mary Moses, can be wrong because my ego sometimes isn't perfect. So be aware of that. I see a lot of white energy around you, Adriana. So I'm holding your hands. You are looking to behind you. And you have healing hands. You have very powerful hands. I would say you're more a remote viewer though, like a remote healer because you're not looking at me, but you love holding my hands. And we're like on a rainbow, like a rainbow bridge. So we'll see what that means. And I'll see if Spirit sends you a song. I've seen a lot of what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two. 'Cause I never wanna see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl. If you wanna leave, take good care. I hope you find a lot of nice things to wear. Just remember there's a lot of bad and beware. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by with just a smile. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. And I'll always remember you like a child girl. If I were to be your teacher and we were in Hogwarts, you would be learning something very unique that not a lot of people would know about, and you would be teaching eventually, but currently, I don't know where you are in your life, but I'm going to say this. Somebody's eating a cupcake. Inside the cupcake is a demon. What we eat can lead to a portal that opens, and some people are dominated by mind control, and you are pulling out a demon out of their head. Some people would call this, like in Catholicism, an exorcist. So here's the demon, and it looks like a little elf, but yet it has roots that was stuck in the brain. Oh. So I don't know what this means yet. There are people who self-sabotage. This person is stabbing themselves. Through their actions. Actions are a prayer. There's 2 feet, and neither of their feet, they have not rebirthed because their 2 souls are dead. And they're spiritually dead because they have a demon, and a demon isn't what you think it is. It's really actions lead to a lower world. So for instance, somebody who overeats or destroys their holy temple, self-sabotages their holy temple through food, is dominated by an energy that was supposedly in the food. I don't know. There seems to be some demon in the food. So there's something about teaching people and she's pointing to a page, like on a piece of paper. And she people who are in your readings, they don't have to be deceased. We may be tapping into her higher self. So this older woman could be mother, could be grandmother, could be an aunt, I don't know. Somebody is pointing to the paper that has a demon on it. These are little parasites that human beings get on them because of their own doing. So, you're walking on the Rainbow Bridge. And you're getting a certificate. It's like you're going to Hogwarts and you're going to have to learn some things, spiritually speaking, about yourself and about other people that will help you to become a teacher of this. We all have to overcome this ourselves before we can teach it. So there's a man and he's also opening a scroll. This is opening understanding, opening new worlds, opening your understanding. Energies that are helping you at this time. Helping you to understand demons or parasites. How to stay on the rainbow bridge of enlightenment and not be polarized by witches. This witch wants you to learn from the dark arts. Because and there's a dog with a hat that has moons and suns on it, like a witch's hat. To understand a demon or a parasite, you kind of have to live it. I don't know. I'm not really sure yet. But the Slytherins practice black magic or learn about this stuff to defeat it, not to become it. But the part about it is it's you can easily become it. And this older woman is holding a candle, and the saying of Dumbledore is, if you only remember to keep your light lit. So if you have not gotten into this, why this is brought for you, it may be a lesson for you that our actions open a portal to darkness. Our action is a prayer. What we eat is a prayer for life or death. What we smoke, what we drink is a prayer for life or death. You don't have to be perfect, but basically your holy body is a holy temple, and we can self-sabotage our power by being dominated by, like, this person is eating a cupcake and it has a demon in it or a parasite. And I'm not sure what allegory that is. So the Jack-in-the-Box. All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The weasel thought it was all in fun, but it wasn't fun. Pop goes the weasel, scaring the shit out of you. Yeah. Pop goes the weasel. You thought that we were doing things that were okay, and it's not okay. So basically you're in a school right now of learning. You have been rebirthed, although your feet are down in the lower realm a little bit, and you're learning from the light and the dark. But you're going to learn that your action is a prayer. This is why cleanliness is next to godliness, because you have to clean your relationships, your food, your diet, and clean your house, clean your car, clean your belief systems, clean your emotion, so you become as white as snow. Because if you're going to learn how to teach people, or really people who are dead, they have not rebirthed, their souls are dead, but your souls are not dead. See, their feet are dark, your feet are light. Your soul has rebirthed and is alive. You shouldn't connect with anyone who's dead. But it seems like you are in a school of learning this, as if you are in Slytherin. And the Slytherins aren't really polarized by their past very much. Slytherins help the Harry Potters by making fun of them. Oh, lose your mother and father, did you, Harry? Afraid of Dementors, are you, Harry? Well, let us push you ruthlessly so you can stop being so self-indulgent, right? People who self-sabotage through their own pain, through their own actions. You're going to learn this. Now, the bumblebee on your head is learning from the Spirit of God. That's the sound of God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. It's sound. And so the raven is the dark arts, not the holy dove. Learning from the raven and the dove. And the Slytherin is learning to time travel and learning about the covert things that happen in the world. And this woman saying, just remember to keep your light on. Don't get stuck in the darkness if you are learning the darkness. Because the dark can get really dark. Pop goes the weasel. All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel, and the weasel thought it was all in fun, but it was not at all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. So, there's a dog, angry, biting. This is the divine order of God. Must listen to the divine order of God, and not listen to the Matrix or anything else. So I don't know if this helps you, but just understand that you have a spirit guide that is a snake, and the raven. These seem dark, but they're not. You will learn to time travel. You will learn the voice of God. You will learn of the dark underworld and how to help people get out of it, because you have to live it first. But you are so happy. You have your hand like this. Let me see what hand movement that is. I'm ignorant to hand mudras. But I'm getting better. We learned about this yesterday. Let's see. Let's go into our alchemy deck of hand symbols and what they mean. Like this one is Neptune. So give me a second. So you have a raven. The raven is the story about Odin, who sent one of his eyeballs into the dark underworld so he could understand the dark underworld. That's why you have the black raven. But you have a higher self who's in the higher realm. So one of your eyes is above, one is below. One of your sets of feet is in the dark, one is in the light. Because you're learning. Look at these. Rainbow Bridge. The bumblebee. It's the benevolent guide. You have the bumblebee on your head. It's a spiritus rector. The benevolent guide. This is the voice of God. The snake. The alchemical wedding of black and white, dark and light, flesh and spirit. You're going to learn both. You're going through a marriage, flesh and spirit. La la la. Synchronicity if it was in a circle, but it's not. Yours is not. Sorry, I'm looking for the hand mudras. We're going to look at all these. These are all alchemical symbolisms that talk about the advancement of your psyche, your mind, your body, and your soul. This one is the hand movement of Jupiter. That is not the hand movement that you have. This one is Mars. That's not the one you have. This one is Venus. No. This one is Mercury. No. This one is the moon. You have the moon here. You're working with the moon in one hand. So you are holding something. That's the moon energy you're working with. This is the sun. No. This is Uranus. I would have to say yours looks like Pluto. Hold on. Let me get it down here. I would have to say it looks like Pluto. Your fingers are together. So it may be Pluto. This one is Saturn. No. This one is Chiron. No. See, you have the raven and the snake. This is called the darkening. You're going to learn the arts of what happens in the parasitic world. You also have this. This is called the reddening. Lead is connected to black. I'll have to look it up. You need to look it up too. It's your fingers all together. So there's a couple of mudras. These are planets that you're going to be working with and energies that are going to be working and recycling and perfecting and becoming white and understood in your life currently. I'm not sure it's here. And we had to go through the whole thing. Look how that looks like a train. Nope. So it's another mudra that's not in my deck. But this one's the moon. That one's not quite the sun. The sun would be this. So it's something else. But you're opening a scroll. This is a scroll of School of Understanding. You have been invited to Hogwarts. You are 12 years old. You have been rebirthed. You're learning the dark and the light. You're learning not to self-sabotage through food or drink or anything. If you want to learn about what it's like to be a female, you should read The Sorcerer's Crossing, A Woman's Journey by Tasha Abelard, and you'll learn that copulating gives you luminous worms that feeds off of you. You'll learn about how we self-sabotage ourselves through our actions and what it actually does on the spirit realm. The invisible consequence of our actions. And that's what you're learning right now. Oh, is it Mercury? That hand movement is Mercury? Okay. Well, that's an alchemical time of your life that you're working with Mercury, if that's what that hand movement is. It does look like you're saying hi, and it also is like you're listening. This means that you're beginning to hear the invisible voice of spirit from dark and light. And you're being asked to stay in the center. This means don't fall either which way, because you're learning to keep your balance, and you're learning that your actions are a prayer. This is why your feet are moving. So I always love it when people say, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and I love him so much. And then I go see them drink Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew. Maybe they don't treat their animals very well. Their plants need to be watered. Their house is a mess. They watch television all day long. They eat fried chicken and mashed potatoes, and they stuff their faces. No, they don't love Jesus. Not at all. As a matter of fact, they are the Antichrist. You can say you love Jesus all day long. You know a person by the fruit of their tree. And Jesus never asked you to pray to him anyway, or worship him. He said, follow me. And so here you are following. You are actually walking the walk. But you're learning. And your learning is that your action is a form of worship. Your action is a prayer. And these prayers that are in the form of an action have consequences. And these consequences open portals to light or darkness. And you will be in this school for a while. And once you perfect this knowledge, you will begin integrating it to such a degree that you will teach it. Oh, you're very welcome. If you were the one I missed doing the reading for, the reason I have you guys text me isn't because I'm a jerk. The reason I have you guys text me is because sometimes people order from YouTube, they order from me on TikTok, they order from me from a myriad of sources. Sometimes people order for other people. So for me to gather all of these people together and try to figure out who is... Many of you guys, for the longest time, it was just absolutely put me in a tornado of confusion to get so many orders. So, I have you text me because it's so much easier for me. And it's easier for me to have your name there and call you when it's time to call you, schedule you when I need to schedule you. And a lot of people, when you order from me, especially from Cash App, there's no information anywhere. So I always just try to reiterate, you must text me after your order. I will immediately schedule you. There may be a wait time, but believe in divine timing. And I will call you prior to your reading to connect with your energy and to prepare you for what to expect in your reading and what to expect overall. So when you guys do order from forestfairy.com, make sure you read what you're ordering. And that way you're not surprised that I don't contact you after you order. You have to text me. If you don't like texting me, you can just say, hey, Mary, I'm texting you. This is my name. After my reading, would you block my number or delete me? And I will. It's fine. It goes both ways. You guys aren't supposed to text me in the middle of the night either. But it keeps it authentic because this is not just like a silly reading. We create truth out of nothing. And this is spirit talking to you. It's a very sacred moment. And it shouldn't be taken lightly at all. As a matter of fact, if I do get paid by you and I didn't give you a free reading, and spirit I get some negative vibes, I may refund you because spirit says no. I'm just in obedience to spirit. So congratulations that you're walking the walk. Congratulations that you are a Slytherin in the sense that you are going to help push people away from self-sabotage. Harry Potter self-sabotaged because he had low self-worth. His parents abandoned him and he was living with some jerk aunts and uncles who treated him like garbage. So of course he had low self-worth. And love didn't help him shift away from the mirror of grief. His friends telling him he was great didn't help him. Everyone telling him, oh, you're the great and mighty wizard, Harry Potter, wow, that didn't help his grief. The only thing that helped his grief was recapitulation and the Slytherin who said, ah ha ha, Harry, you're afraid of Dementors, you're afraid of your mom and dad leaving you. And then Harry had to take that pain and being polarized by self-importance and low self-worth and do something with it. Get mad at Draco Malfoy or heal it. Those are your only two choices. Get mad or heal. And so that's what you're going to learn. No, and you're not crazy. See, you are a mirror. You are a clown. You're a sacred clown. If we lived in a culture where sorcerers or oracles or the voice of God or the voice of the Holy Spirit was actually treasured, then someone like me would look at you in Hogwarts, and no one would be allowed to say anything to you because you're the sacred clown. You balance the mental stability of the collective. So you will take someone, like for me, for instance, I wear too much makeup because I'm insecure. I'm 49 years old. I feel old. You would look at me and you would wear too much makeup in my face. And you would look really old, like make yourself look older than I am. And it would hurt my feelings and it would make me cry. And I would have to face my fear of growing old. But see, do you know how damaging it is in the collective for people to be too religious or too self-important or having too low self-worth? Your energy is so important for the collective to realize, oh my gosh, I'm not the great and mighty Wizard of Oz. Nobody cares whether I'm old or not, right? You would put us back in our balance. You would walk into a church, super mega church, that makes millions of dollars, and the building itself cost millions of dollars while there's a bunch of homeless people all around, who need money and all of that. And you would walk into that church naked and look at that preacher in his eyes, and he says, "How dare you, you harlot, you Mary Magdalene, you, walking in here naked? You are a heathen. You are not of Christ." And you would get up on that pulpit and push him out of the way completely naked. And you would say, "Hear, hear. The original Adam and Eve, before they ate the apple, were naked. So really, it's clothing that is the sin. The false self that you cover up, the lies. How dare you wear clothing?" And then you would get off the stage and walk away. It would upset the whole congregation. They would think about you for weeks. They would hate you. And you would laugh. You're the clown. Because you had a job to bring people to their rainbow bridge, their balance. You're kind of like F you, but the love is deeper. It's comes from the dark side. Yeah, but so what? I mean, we all need to be balanced. We get out of control. With self-importance, the great and mighty Wizard of Oz, who was really full of hot air balloon, But you have a job to do, and that's a very, very important job. Yeah, like Shiva. Shiva, shake shit up. I'm here to shake shit up. Hey guys, I'm here to shake shit up. You think that you know so much, Mr. Preacher? Or how about you, Miss Rich Woman who thinks that you control the world, or da-da-da. Anyone who's polarized by low self-worth or self-importance, who through their actions self-sabotage not only themselves but the collective, you balance them, and that's what you will do because you're a Slytherin. Yeah, I got that. It's like the black flame. My sister, my daughter, Hannah, she's a Slytherin. She has zero tolerance for people who are unauthentic, self-important, unaware, destructive, throwing trash on the earth. Oh, she hates them, really. But to hate people is a first year Slytherin. When you get to the second or third year as a Slytherin, you learn more. But like we have a lake over here that's spring fed. You can see through it. It's so beautiful. But there's people from Alabama. Now, I live in Florida, but people from Alabama come out here and they throw beer bottles in the water and all around the beach in this sparkling clear water. They take what is sacred and they piss on it. And at first, my daughter and I, before we were adept, we got construction bags and we filled up 6 giant construction bagfuls of beer bottles, and we blocked the road so people couldn't even drive to the lake. And we put a big sign in front of the garbage bags and said, "You are not a monkey, pick up your bananas." And I would go to bed pissed off, and so would my daughter. It took years, I don't know how many years, for us to figure out, oh, Cherie, what will be. You cannot control people. But what you can do is be a mirror of them in a funny way, get a glimpse of who they are, and decide not to be that anymore. To fight them, to push them, to spank them, to murder them, to hate them is a first-year Slytherin. And I used to be that. I'm going to come back with my camera and make magic and shove right up there. Well, look at your kicking. So yeah, you're going to kick people into their place, but that's your job. And I recommend reading a book called Daughters of Copper Woman. And in that, there's a Native American tribe, or I don't know if it's Native American, but it was like a native tribe. And they were, and they had someone called the Sacred Clown, and no one could harm the clown. The clown could act whatever way they wanted to, and they were sacred because they were about mental health. So I would recommend reading it. I will warn you that the first part of the book, it's difficult to understand, but once you get into it, the first 2 chapters, then suddenly you'll begin to see some amazing stuff, and you'll begin to understand who you are as this balance of light and dark on the Rainbow Bridge. Yes, in a good way. See, think about comedians. Okay, think about, I'm going to talk to you guys about this. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are pretty adept, but there's a comedian. His name is Get Her Done. He says, "Get her done." I don't know if you know this, but that man does not speak country at all. He's not from the South. That's his character. And I don't know if you know this, but his job is to unpolarize religious people. Listen to his comedy act. He will put in a bunch of fart jokes here, make fun of Christmas music there, talk about this or that there, and then suddenly, bam, talks about how Jesus looks like this, and this reverend was drunk, and how he actually speaks like a northerner. That's his character. Oh, Nathan, are you on my live? He's my son. Hannah, are you on my live? That's my daughter. Somebody keeps texting me. Hello to my son and hello to my daughter. The clown targets are usually meant to take them out. Yeah, think about, what was her name? She was on Roseanne Barr. She said some things, right? The thing is, as a clown, if you say that you're stupid or you're wrong, and somebody dominated by ego, if somebody told me that I was wrong or stupid, I wouldn't care. Slay. You're there. Let me see. Oh, is it glitch time again? I'm sorry. Oh, glitch, Mob, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, they were here, okay. Oh, there you are. Yeah, if they notice the message. Well, hello. So thank you so much for the gifts. So anyway, sorry. The shame and blame lion from The Wizard of Oz is the one who says, put him up, I'll fight you with both hands behind my back. And it's usually the comedian that slaps the lion in the face to take him to his fourth heart chakra, Emerald City. And there you become a horse of many colors, a collective consciousness, so that you are no longer polarized by self-importance or low self-worth, and you are not a virus or cross-contamination to the collective. That's the job of the clown. Oh yeah, I've seen The Wizard of Oz Part 2, where Dorothy sees her higher self in the mirror, just like the Neverending Story where Bastian saw Atreyu in the mirror. The mirror is very important, because if you see your higher self in the mirror, good job. But if you see shame, blame, the lion, the Tin Man, the scarecrow like the Wizard of Oz, then you are seeing ignorance, narcissism, and shame, which spells out sin. So if you're in the lower world of sin, the god of the moon was named Sin. And the job of the alchemist is to shift from the moon to the sun, from lead to gold, in order to not be polarized by false truths within us. To say that you are individual, to say that your religion is the only religion and you're the only right one, you're probably polarized. It actually looks like this. When you are in the eye of the needle, you have become nothing. To die before you die is, well, what does it feel like to be dead? You feel nothing, you believe nothing. You're in the eye of the needle. You surrender, Dorothy, to go to Emerald City, your green heart chakra, and to allow Spirit to lead you divinely on that rainbow bridge, right? But if you are a Luciferian, you're following the false light. Jesus was the morning star, but so was Lucifer. One is true, one is false. Lucifer is all about spirit. Many people who are Luciferians are very religious. They hate anything that has to do with the physical, and they can get pretty extreme about it. Anything that has to do with the material world, rock and roll music, drugs, sex, anything that they think is evil, they will completely stay away from because they find it evil. Even if the Holy Spirit tells them, maybe you should do mushrooms, or maybe you should sun gaze with your eyes closed, or maybe you should do some crazy stuff, they won't listen to it because they are polarized. So the Luciferians are usually very religious people, and they are all about spirit. Then the opposite is Satan. Satan is all about the physical. It's all about materialism. This is all about self-importance. And unfortunately, the Luciferians are usually filled with low self-worth. They view Jesus in a codependent way. They worship with their tongue. They'd have no clue how to balance. People who are in the physical are all about logic. They're all about science. They don't want to see the invisible Holy Spirit because you can't prove it. So people who follow Satan are usually out of balance because they are into self-importance, materialism, consumerism, drugs, alcohol, promiscuity, all about the world. And then people who are Luciferians are usually people who are dominated by tradition, and they're so scared to not follow God that they won't balance at all. They're afraid to even go near this. But Christ is the balance. Now, Christ was Mithra from Armenia, the god Ar. Think of the word ark because the ark was actually in Armenia. How great thou art. the god Ar. And Christ was Mithra, but Christ was also Helios. And it doesn't matter what his name is, it happens within you. And the balance is what needs to happen here. Being polarized is being using up your power. And sorry about that. I don't know why it keeps glitching. Is anyone... Yes, Burgundy, if I refunded you, and I think I said this to you yesterday, it's better to text me than to confront me on my live, because for some reason I refunded you. And I think I told you yesterday to trust that I refunded you. Maybe there was a reason for it, or maybe I was sick. Because there was a time when I became very sick and I had to refund everyone and I couldn't finish the reading. So even though I read for you and did a piece for you, I still refunded you because I didn't want you to feel like you were taken advantage of. So text me, like I told you yesterday, and send me a picture of what I did, and maybe I will do your piece for you. But I'm going to ask you again to please stop confronting me on my live and text me. And this is the last time I'm going to say this to you, and you can't, or otherwise we're going to meet you every time, because you have the ability to text me easily. And why you choose to confront me on my live, I have no clue. But if I were you, I would just trust in divine timing that there must have been a reason why I did your reading and refunded you. Sorry, guys. Not a lot of people are taking that path, so I'm very proud of you. And just look at the dress that you're wearing. This gives you a little image as to how old you are spiritually. So there's going to be a little bit to learn. And you look like a young girl, like you're 12 years old. So you're the Harry Potter realizing, oh, you're a wizard, Harry. Or you're Dorothy. Dorothy was 12 years old when she left Kansas and realized she was a witch. But a witch isn't someone who